It's just about that time once again to do a complete portfolio reveal to share with you every single stock and ETF that I'm currently holding across my multiple portfolios, which collectively are paying me an estimated yearly $82,000 worth of dividends, or collectively monthly $6,800 per month. Now, like I said in this video, we're going to go over every single stock and ETF that I'm currently holding, and I'm going to share with you names that I've been selling, buying, etc. So you're definitely going to want to stick around until the end. So if you want to see a behind the scenes, under the hood look in a 7-figure dividend growth portfolio, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. Real quick, for those that haven't already, make sure to go to the first link in my description and grab my new dividend investing ebook, where I share exactly how I went from $0 invested to now earning over $6,000 on a monthly basis and over $1 million invested in the market. Along with the ebook, you're also going to receive my custom dividend tracker, where you can track your dividend progress on an ongoing basis and reach your dividend investing goals. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. Now, right here on my master dividend tracker, you can see, like I said, every single stock and ETF that I've been gathering for around 7 or 8 years now. I've been buying stocks and ETFs like crazy over the past 7 or 8 years, basically spending all of my active income or all my extra active income into more dividend paying stocks and ETFs and reinvesting those dividends month after month after month into more stocks and ETFs across the market. But without wasting any time getting right into it, my first holding at the top is BDJ, or the BlackRock Enhanced Equity Dividend Trust, which I currently have around 1,756 shares of. Keep in mind, all these numbers are going to be estimated because certain stocks and ETFs don't pay the same exact amount to me every single month or every single quarter, so keep in mind these numbers are all just estimated, just to give us an idea of what we're looking at. The next position is 1,487 shares of Devo, or the Amplify CWP Enhanced Dividend Income ETF. I have been still grabbing some more shares of Devo across my portfolios. I don't buy Devo necessarily every single day, but I do buy Devo every single week, more or less. Devo is still a position I'm looking to grow in the future. I still have my 1,262 shares of Verizon stock, which I have not touched. I still have my 1,000 shares of Apple stock, which I also have not touched. QYLD, although QYLD pays me a massive distribution with 2,734 shares, I have not added to QYLD in quite some time. I then have my 2,876 shares of Realty Income. Realty Income is still a stock that I've been adding to. I don't necessarily buy as much Realty Income consistently as I used to, but I still am adding to ticker symbol low on a weekly basis at that. Then we have my 1,248 shares of JEPI. I did make a video recently talking about the fact that I am looking to sell JEPI and maybe buy JEPQ and or some SPYI with the JEPI proceeds, just because I think as far as covered call ETFs go, there are some better options out there than JEPI. At least going off of historical performance, I have 1,248 shares. I definitely am not going to sell all my JEPI, but I have sold a few covered calls, so maybe we're going to trim the JEPI position in the up and coming months. We then have our 740 shares of Enterprise Product Partners, nothing new there. Our same 700 shares of BST. We have our MPW 611 shares there still. We have our 510 shares of JEPQ. I actually, as of recently, have been adding more to my JEPQ position. I haven't really been adding too much to JEPQ over the past few years, but honestly, just how this ETF is shaping up, how it's been performing historically, and just what I'm looking for in the portfolio, I'm up to 510 shares across the board. We still have our 300 shares of OHI. We still have our 246 of NUSI. We still have our 194 of XYLD. SCHD, as you guys know, is a position I'm aggressively trying to add to over the last few years. We're up to almost 650 shares, which we'll definitely hit in the up and coming trading week. And keep in mind, my goal for 2024, my large goal was 1,000 shares. My small goal was reaching over 500 shares. So right now we're somewhere in the middle. Honestly, I'm guessing we'll probably end up around 750 shares of SCHD across all the portfolios by the end of this year, which is outstanding, especially because I will not only be receiving hopefully massive dividends every single quarter, but especially if SCHD does some up and coming dividend increases, my dividend income is going to skyrocket. We still have our 311 shares of Altria. We still have our 261 of Triple N REIT. We still have our 100 shares of JP Morgan. We still have our 293 of Vici. I'm not sure if I updated this one. I did sell off some Vici in one of my portfolios, and I bought some SPYI in Realty Income with the proceeds. Vici really hasn't done what I thought it was going to do in the last few years, so I am going to keep trimming my Vici position, I think, just because I really don't want to have that much exposure in gaming real estate, but we'll see what happens. KMI still got my 59 shares there. Main Street Capital still been grabbing a share or two here and there. Main Street Capital as of right now is just pretty expensive. That's one of the main reasons I haven't been grabbing more Main Street Capital, but I'm up to 256 shares, which is awesome. Wish this one was larger though. 29 shares of Walgreens. I'm not sure if I even still have Walgreens. I have to go and check. I sold off most of my Walgreens, honestly, for a loss, but good riddance to Walgreens. No interest there. WP Carry, still have our 351 of that. P&W 47, still have our original 255 shares of YieldMax, which I'm down on, although the most recent dividend was pretty massive. We have our 24 shares of UPS. Kind of happy I don't own more UPS because of what's been happening as of recently. The most recent earnings report was nasty and UPS took a massive tumble. We're still up quite a bit in it because I bought UPS at around $93 per share. But this is another reason on why I'm really moving towards buying ETFs, because I don't want to have massive exposure in really any single names moving forward. We still got our 20 shares of PBA. We still have our 18 shares of Arbor Realty Trust. We still have our 16 Extra Space Storage. We still got our 17 Simon Property Group. SVOL across the portfolios, we're over 200 shares now. I have been also buying a little bit more SVOL. Across all the portfolios, I think I have to update this. I think I have probably closer to 300 shares now, honestly. But SVOL's performance has not been bad whatsoever, especially for an ultra high yielder, yielding around 16% more or less. Honestly, I would never make this one a large portion of my portfolio, but just to keep inching my dividend income up as fast as possible, as safe as possible, of course, SVOL will continue to be in my watch list moving forward. We still have a few shares of Stag Industrial. We still have a few shares of T-Row, Kimberly Clark 19 shares. We have our 3192 of VNQ. We have our 200 Coca-Cola, which has recovered nicely as of recently. We have our 700 PSA. We're up to almost 450 shares of SPYI, which is pretty cool because I've been buying this one a lot as of recently. I pretty much never shut up about SPYI these days. And this is just because I'm a huge fan of the cover call style strategy, and SPYI's strategy seems to do it just right. I'm going to keep buying more SPYI as well as some of these other higher yielding names, like I said, along with names like SCHD and other dividend growth names throughout the next year, and then we'll see where we go from there. Next, we have our 12 shares of FEPB. We have our 2 shares of DGRW, which I definitely need to add more to. Then we have a brand new position, which I just bought since our last video, FDVV, the Fidelity High Dividend ETF. I made a video about this one, and honestly, this ETF has a nice basket of holdings, has a pretty decent starting yield, and FDVV will probably become a larger position in my portfolio moving forward, but we'll have to see. So there we have it. That's pretty much every single position across my entire portfolios all together as of right now. Like I said, I'm pretty much doing more of the same, buying some Realty Income, buying some Devo, buying some things like SCHD, some other dividend growth names. But as of right now, I'm still very focused on getting my total monthly dividend income goal up to surpass $7,000, which is a massive milestone, and pretty much trekking forward onto $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 as the years go on. Now, what's going to be interesting to see over the next, say, 12 to 18 months is because I'm gathering so many shares of different names, like SCG, for example, which at least historically has raised their dividend significantly. Now that I'm getting to the point where I have 600, hopefully soon 700, 800 shares of this, I'm really hoping that my total yearly dividend income will really grow by leaps and bounds because, again, that dividend growth rate will really kick in. Now, to be fully transparent, there are certain names in this portfolio that I do like more than others, and there's of course certain names in this portfolio that I wish I would have never bought in the first place, names like MPW, or even names like QYLD, which by no means is bad, but there's better names out there, in my opinion. But what's great about building a long-term portfolio like this is it's always malleable. You can always sell things for a gain, sell things for a loss, and just keep molding the portfolio into the perfect portfolio that you want to own long-term into the future. And just because my strategy as of right now in 2024 is to specifically try and get my dividend monthly income up as fast as possible, as safe as possible, meaning that I don't want to buy into any yield traps, meaning that I want to buy into different stocks and ETFs that have a historical positive total return and a healthy one at that. It doesn't mean that in 2025 I might not focus on more growth names. My strategy is ever changing slightly, but for the most part, it still remains the same. Buy into high quality dividend paying ETFs and stocks, of course, that have the potential to grow over time and historically have grown over time, but also pay dividends, a high yield or more and more in dividends over time. But now I want to ask you guys a question down below. Looking through my entire 7-figure portfolio, if you could only hold on to either one stock or one ETF for the rest of time, which one would it be and why? Drop the ticker symbol in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.